Hello, I'm going to explain a little bit about my C++ project, building a first-person game in Unreal Engine. Um, and Unreal allows you to um, build C++ projects that interface with the engine so that you can script things in your game. And so it's called an API for that reason, because we're not really in the engine, we're interfacing with it and telling it what to do um, from our outside C++ build. So we're creating this public class for FPS character. We have our constructor. We have this function that is called at the beginning when either the player is spawned or whenever the game starts, if the player is already in the game from the get-go. This function is called every single frame. Here we're connecting our inputs that we're giving to Unreal Engine with our input components so that we can actually call functions when input is given. And then we define our move functions. Move forward, and then we give a value for how much. Move right. So this is for forward and backward. This is for right and left. And then we have two functions, one for starting a jump and one for stopping a jump when we finish our jump. And so this is the meat of the code for the character. That was our .h header file, and here's where we define these methods. So this is something that we don't need. It just slows down things if we're calling frames, something on every frame. On our begin play, we use the C++ super to reference this method has been inherited twice. And we are debugging a little bit, and you'll see a lot of on-screen debugging that I do when I actually run the game. Same thing here. Here's where we'll set up the input. Where I'll show what this looks like from the editor side, but in the code side, we are binding an axis from a keyword: move forward, move right, turn, look up. So in our engine, I've defined inputs to notify us with these keywords, these friendly inputs. Then we can take those keywords and actually call functions on them. For example, move forward, move right, turn, and look up. So our X direction and our Y direction. And then we have actions for the space bar. So we can jump, and then when that key is released, we can stop jumping. To define the actual movement on move forward, we get a direction, and then we simply call this add movement input, which takes a vector for a direction and then a value for how much we're going to move. This value that we give it is just this keyword that passes the jump action from our input. So yeah, we can move forward. The x-axis, we can think of that as our forward and backward, and the y-axis for our left to right. It's just perpendicular to our x-axis, and we can move left to right. Same idea here though with the code. We're simply asking for different inputs, A and D in this case, and we're moving in different directions. So there you go. For jumping, we simply set jumping to be true or false if we want to stop jumping based on when the space bar is released. And then I'm debugging these events. So I'll show you what that looks like actually in Unreal Engine. And I've built all this, and so now it's compiled and ready to go. We can click play. You can see that our character can look left and right based on mouse input, and then move up and down. And so we get something kind of looking like this. This world, we have like this default terrain that comes with Unreal, and then a couple objects in here so I can move around. Here's my W, A, S, and D keys moving me around the screen, and then I have my jump input. As soon as I release that spacebar, stop jumping. I can go up and jump through this little mini obstacle course. More of a prototype than anything, but we get the idea of what an FPS controller looks like in Unreal, how C++ is interfacing with our engine. I learned a lot about C++ and how to write it, and how to debug it, and how to debug it, and all that. So, yeah.